Even in times of war, there's usually something to laugh at, I've found at least. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installation of Baba and Bound. I don't know whatever we call these mini podcasts. And I want to talk today about a $13 billion ship, the pride of the US Navy, the USS Gerald Ford. Should I stand up out of respect when I say its name? This is, after all, on paper, at least, the most capable US aircraft carrier in service, and as a result, the most capable aircraft carrier in the world. Yet it's not in the fight. It's not currently in the Iran conflict. The Gerald Ford had to pull back to a Greek island for repairs, reportedly. Repairs, did you say, Baba? What happened? What happened? Was it hit by a drone or a missile? Surely not. Surely not. With all the powerful defenses a U.S. aircraft carrier and its destroyer Royal Guard carry? How could any unsuspecting wayward missile reach the hull of such a prestigious vessel floating off the coast of wherever to bring freedom, democracy, and pay itself in oil for the people of that region? Well, the US is saying it wasn't a missile, but the ship is damaged. They're saying it was a laundry room fire. A fire that burned, by some accounts, for several days. And according to the most rigorous, even Western sources, it burned for at least 30 hours. A fire that displaced 600 sailors, destroyed entirely some of their living quarters. That's some laundry room fire. Hot damn! Or hot towel? Anyone? Most credible... Sorry. Most credible sources put time to fully operational of this here $13 billion ship at weeks now. It's going to take weeks to become fully operational again. And yet, for Iran, what I just described there would have been, by my assessment, more than enough to go on, right? You can just start, making fun of the US aircraft carrier. You've been making fun of all kinds. You maybe set up another cheeky Lego short film on the matter. But no, Iran has thanked Houthi Yemen for denying access past the Red Sea to the Gerald Ford. An Iranian commander basically said yesterday, at the time of this recording, that's today's the 31st of March. So he said yesterday, the 30th of March, he said that he thanked the heroic troops of Yemen for being prepared to threaten the US aircraft carrier as it approached the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, and said that this was the true reason why the Gerald Ford hovered around the coast of Jeddah, looking all important but not feeling particularly brave, before being like, yeah, I'm gonna need to head out to go repair myself. So it went out through the Red Sea, past the Suez Canal to the safety of the Mediterranean Sea, and then eventually arrived at the Greek island of Crete, where, I don't know, maybe the sailors are enjoying some olive oil and feta cheese. I don't know, it doesn't matter. That's the situation as it currently stands. That's the news. Now here's the analysis. So yeah, but before we get into the analysis, the summary is the most powerful ship in the US Navy set fire to itself using moist towelettes, hot towelettes, or something, right? And it's knocked it out for several weeks potentially. Okay, damn, it's just jarring to. Anyway, here's the analysis, guys. In the fog of actually. As I was saying, in the fog of war, it's hard to tell who's being honest, especially now in wartime. I've talked about this on several of my videos, talking about media propaganda, manipulation, AI utilization, misinformation, disinformation. I was even invited very kindly onto an Al Jazeera episode. Yeah, your boy, it's going places. Anyway, sorry, composure. Stay professional, not really. I was invited onto Al Jazeera to talk about this exact thing. Link in my TikTok bio to that episode of the stream. I talked about use of humor and social media in reporting the news, right? That's why now, because of what the conflict going on, it takes me much longer to research these videos, but I still try. So I hope you appreciate that. I'm not here to deliver the spin, but of course there will be humor which is tinged with, some sort of making fun of either side and da 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 da. Just so we don't spiral into a depressing doom and gloom scenario, right? Me starting with me, maybe carrying on to you. Let's take things. It has to be said, basically, setting the humor aside, it has to be said that the American Navy is on full display and is showing the world right now just how lacking the fleet is in some ways. After a month in the fight, the Gerald Ford had a laundry room fire so intense that it may take weeks to be repaired and made seaworthy again. Sir Davos would be upset. Yes, they had overdue maintenance already, but this is a war America is fighting, no? American enemies have no doubt got wide grins on their faces. 13 billion, turns out, burns just as easily as a stack of $500 million. America's allies no doubt look off into the distance nowadays, considering their life choices, thinking, have I made the right decisions? Their own geopolitical calculations will have to be recalculated in some cases. America says, in God we trust. That's what it says on their dollar bills. And loads of other nations on earth said, in America we trust. But if backed up toilets and flammable towelettes can knock these guys out before the Iranians even get a chance, get a crack at the pistachio nut, is this a nation that can truly be relied upon for defense? Ask the Gulf monarchies, they'll be like, yeah, nah, bruv. Ask Ukraine, you'll be like, nah, he dropped me like it was hot. Such will be the thoughts, and no doubt decisions will be made by other states to carefully look for alternative hardware, alternative providers of military equipment and training and protection in a world that is becoming more and more lawless, one could assess, as America throws around its considerable weight and we move into multipolarity. And in that process of unipolarity to multipolarity, there's a lot of shifting going around, a lot of noise being made by all kinds of different parties. Trump, Donny Boy himself, called NATO in Europe paper tigers when they refused, one after another, to go and help him at Hormuz. A paper tiger, Baba, what is a paper tiger? A paper tiger is something that looks dangerous, right? But it's actually quite weak. It's a tiger, but it's made of paper, right? Well, many would argue that what this war has shown, more than anything else, is that America is the true paper tiger. Against a sanctioned nation, technologically much inferior to it, having an economy 60 times smaller than America's economy. Iran has an economy about 8 times smaller than just California. Against such a nation, America was left floating off the coast, far away, in fear of losing their ships. For better or worse, the administrations of most nations on earth will feel that if there is a paper tiger anywhere right now, it is the military of the United States of America. And that's it. We'll leave it there for the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mahfouz Talukder, aka News Baba, and I'll see you on the next one.